Hey everyone, welcome to PitchIT this Thursday. Broadcasting live. My name's Adam Blansky. I am founder and CEO of Sierra Pacific Group. We help technology business leaders leverage ConnectWise products to get the most out of their systems with proven best practices quickly and efficiently, right? We've done over thousands of implementations, optimizations, and custom projects. And I'm really excited about all the different tools that we get to integrate and play with in our organization and our consulting team works with. And, I actually want to bring on my co-host, Sean Lardo. I'm doing this a little different this time.
I felt, I felt the energy from that, and it's like the first time you called me co-host. I mean,
I know, right?
I feel teary-eyed a little bit, maybe. No, good afternoon, Adam. Yeah, it's afternoon for you also.
It's afternoon, yeah.
Yeah. We are going through a heat wave here in Pittsburgh. It's actually, I'll look at the exact. Yesterday it was like 95 and felt like 105. I'm not built for that, man. So I've literally been like, I went outside. The dog looked at me. He was like, "We're not going outside." Like he literally didn't want to go outside. And I agreed. I was like, I'll just put some pads out. Just do what you got to do, man. But yeah, all is going great. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Just had a meeting right up, so apologize for being a little late. But having a really great executive meeting, just growing and focusing and planning for our future. So it's really, really exciting, kind of the things we're doing in Sierra Pacific Group. So, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about PitchIT. Yes. And just tell me, PitchIT again. What is it?
PitchIT. It's Thunderdome for vendors.
Shark Tank?
In this case, 18 companies enter, one will leave victorious at the end, right? So basically, what we did was we put forth an effort to set up an incubator program that's all built towards a very accelerated program for these vendors that are part of the ConnectWise world, that support partners. I mean, that's very important to us. That they're going through a 16-week training program, essentially doing stuff like this with you and I also. But at the end, we're going to select by the end of August. First week of September, we're going to select 3 finalists. Those 3 finalists are going to move on to go to compete live at IT Nation Connect and have the full Shark Tank the whole Shark Tank concept happens there. And the first place winner, 70,000. Second place, 30,000. Third place, well, welcome. You got like his and her towels or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You actually said something in there that actually just triggered me to say something. Only one victorious person. I think that every contestant is actually probably pretty victorious because I think they're learning a lot of how to work with ConnectWise. There's a 16-week program that everybody kind of goes through, which is huge. So there's a learning experience for all the different PitchIT contestants, right? So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, no. So first, I will give such great credit to the contestants, to these vendors, because they didn't know what they were fully getting. They knew what they were getting into as a whole, but they didn't know everything that was going to happen until we actually went through the orientation call with them, where we laid out everything for them as far as trainings are concerned. So every week they're allocating time to a workshop every single week that they've all been part of. And each workshop is a building block to their company to help them within various aspects, whether it be sales or marketing or M&A, or even like you did yours yesterday, which you did a nice job at talking about the perspective of an MSP even and how to best navigate, right? So all these things are leading up to them getting in a better position to be more polished and refined and to work on some of their gaps, And during the course of it too, now they're doing webinars with us too. So, thank God for these guys, these men and women, because they are so willing to do these things, which is cool because they're running their company still and they're still doing their own stuff. So some of them are running huge companies. So, every single week they're learning. So they're building onto that. And also they're doing things in this with our social media outreaches. They're building their brand. They're getting more awareness. That's what this is all about. At the end of it, no matter what, you're right. They all are winners and we can take that position, right? But they're all winners if they really take advantage of the resources that are given, that we're being provided, and also use their own internal resources, which is what we're asking of them. At the end, even if they don't win the competition or they don't make the 3 finalists, they're in a better place as a business and a maturity aspect. Also, hopefully they're generating leads and closing deals, and this goes back to, and I'm glad you pulled it up, which was the 3 promises that we made last year. It's when we talk about this, we talk about partnerships. This is a very vague term, partnerships, right? we already know our MSPs are our partners. We know they work with us, but so are these vendors. So when we talk about easier to do business with, I think PitchIT is a great avenue for vendors to do business easier with us, to get access to the marketplace that you're part of, eventually being an invent partner as well, but also investing even more invested in the partner growth. We've invested tremendously in this, which hopefully all these platforms that we're presenting, all these companies, will be more for the partners to use. And the innovation, I mean, this whole program is on innovation. So more innovation is faster. What better way to do it than to go after the exact community we work with and tell people, hey, let's get this rolling. You guys are building products. Let's start to vet this out. Let's introduce this to the world and show them what they're about. So this covers all three all in one.
Nice. Yes. Like it, man. Well, this is a show not for us because we can DJ this and talk all day long about IT stuff. Yeah. But co-host, right? We got to get to what we're really here for, and it's I can't even speak it.
HumanizeIT. I got it.
Humanize it. In my mind, it throws a T in there on humanity, right? So humanize it. Adam Walter from HumanizeIT. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Adam.
Other Adam. I'm kind of an odd cookie in this space because I came from the outside world and the corporate lackeys, and I joined the MSP space because I missed the small business market. I missed working one-on-one with companies. I've been around the bush, or around the world, you name it in IT, I have done it. I've done cloud migrations. I was a Nexus core admin for a number of years. I was a CISO for critical infrastructure. Just name it. I've been in that world, but eventually I burned out, and my wife said, hey, why don't you start your own company giving CIO advice to small businesses? So I primarily started working with private schools, helping them build better technology portfolios so that they could take advantage of that C-level strategy. And then I discovered that there's this thing called VCIO in the MSP world, and I just started playing in it. So
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The beautiful thing about technology and everything else is we can create any acronym and we can make a title and a position and a need, no matter what.
Yeah. You can sound really impressive with your alphabet soup.
Absolutely. I mean, when I was in the Army,
title for unicorn or like My Little Pony expert, because with the number of kids I have, I'm there. Twilight Sparkle, it's my jam.
Bro, you're talking about unicorns. You obviously don't watch me. You don't follow me on social media when I get on the plane with my neck pillow.
I use the term unicorn all the time.
I just wear them.
There it is.
Like, I am totally down with unicorns. I feel like they're a special place in my heart. They're majestic.
Yeah, definitely. I can go off on what the difference between an alicorn and a unicorn is, and how kind of evolution happens when they become princesses. I'm your guy. So if I could have an acronym for that, that'd be fantastic.
Well, we'll put that out to the masses. Maybe some other people can help us with that, because I think I agree. I totally agree.
Something called a brony.
A baroni?
Brony, BRONY.
I know that. What is that?
That's a bro who likes ponies.
Oh, dude, that's me.
You're taking
There's t-shirts for it and everything.
Nice. I love that.
So, I was like, well, we also have to keep on track, right?
That was gonna be the staple to this conversation. You were wrong.
Well, tell me. So, break it down for me. Maybe a simple sentence. Humanize it.
Humanize. Don't worry. Listen, Adam, let me handle the big
Tell me I need to go back to market with my name now. That's not writing a note.
No, you don't get anything off of Adam Walensky at all.
Human, you're izing it. So there we go. Humanizing it. Tell me just quick rundown. What do you do?
What do I do? I pretend to know things and I drink whiskey. So really what it is when I was in the
you're a unicorn. World, you're a unicorn.
Yeah. Okay. Unicorns, whiskey, and pretending things. I'm good. But really what happened was when I was in IT in the corporate world, I am your typical burnout from corporate. I was as high level. I was earning the major salaries and I was doing great. And I started noticing a trend in the corporate world where we were so focused on KPIs. We were so focused on break fix that we, as a corporate IT office, were detaching and becoming this giant silo. Every single company I worked in, we were a silo. And I started noticing that there were certain techs that were asking really great questions. And we were getting these awesome projects out of it. And these weren't like your advanced tier 3 engineers going out and architecting solutions. These were our entry-level techs working on the phone, asking questions about, hey, how can I make your day better? Or going on a ride along with an electrician and coming out saying, hey guys, why are we still doing things this way? Like, well, we had the solution a couple of years ago. How come they're not using it? Well, they didn't know. And so we would do things like solve problems around timesheet entry. Turns out these crews were spending 10 hours a week doing timesheets manually when we created an automated solution for the field years ago that no one just sat down and educated them about. And so it came down to having better conversations with the end user so that we come up with better technology solutions. So we call that top-down approach to IT. Mm-hmm. And my wife said, why aren't you doing that with small businesses? They don't know. Like when we look at these innovative small businesses that come up and just dominate markets, they're always using technology. They were able to take this great business idea and align it with a piece of technology to allow them to accelerate. And how do you get that? So our software, we actually originally started off just a consulting company doing VCIO work. And then a guy named Danish who ran managed services platform asked us to start coaching MSPs on how to have these better conversations, what questions to ask, how to run a SWOT session, how to bring them donuts and have an actual human conversation with them, which is where the idea of humanizing IT came from, was taking us out of the break fix and bringing us into conversations with businesses so that these techs could come up with great solutions for real problems that were happening. And over time, we got so good at this. I was running a 2-man shop, and we were getting 36,000 MRR, doing no tech troubleshooting. This was just agile consulting and VCIO consulting. A 2-man shop was doing that. That was 5 years ago.
Wow.
And so we started coaching MSPs on how to do this kind of stuff, how to ask these questions. And we started seeing like schools go from $1,500 MRR to $9,000 MRR as clients, because we are now giving them solutions that augmented their schools and businesses. And then eventually we bought managed services platform as a tool to facilitate this conversation. So you had this tool that allowed you to audit a client and ask them the right questions and then come up with business solutions that you could track over time.
Yep.
And that is where we came. So we took a tool, kind of like the EOS, kind of like Traction, where you have this framework of questions to ask and a methodology to follow, not a process. And then you have an outcome of deliverables that align with your business practices.
That's awesome. First off, I know what you do, but I have to say it's awesome.
And it works.
It does, right? So okay, so let me ask this then. So are you working with partners today? Then you're already working with MSPs today that are using.
Yeah. We have a couple hundred MSPs we work with, and we kind of inherited through the acquisition when I acquired last year. 2021, we acquired the software wholly, and we're currently doing a complete rewrite into React and to convert it to the Humanize framework. So it takes less than an hour to build a world-class QBR now using our software. But alongside that, you just got to know how to have these conversations. You can take an account manager and deliver a VCIO level product in under an hour. And it's not because you're highly technical or you have all the training on Cisco gear. It's because you're asking the right questions and you're caring about the business.
So you're talking more business, and I'm assuming the conversation is always in business outcomes, not in the root in the minutia of tech, like features.
We have a saying: if you mention the word firewall in a meeting with a client, you should be fired. You're losing business. And we've got clients, or we get members in our community that will swear up and down, like they'll start with our product and then they'll start asking business questions, and then they'll start landing $10,000, $20,000 projects. They're like, why wasn't I doing this a year ago? It's not that hard. All I had to do was ask a couple business questions. Yeah. And then I was able to fully flow and sell these products that I was unable to for 3 years.
Right. That's impressive. Sorry, Adam, you're kind of choppy too, dude. I don't know if you know that.
Oh.
No, not you. No, the other Adam.
Oh.
Is he frozen on your screen or just mine?
It's just
he's a little pixely, but it's working for him.
Yeah, Yeah. Sorry. So really, I want to touch on a point that you kind of said in there, and it's something I've basically been talked about yesterday a little bit, and it's all about the customer experience, right?
Yes.
And I love QBRs, right? But typically we see in the MSP world, the QBRs are, hey, here's the number of tickets you closed. Here's the kind of results of those closes. Here's the server help time. Here's the viruses we stopped, right? It's the technical side of things. And your focus is really kind of on the business side of things, the tactical side of things, how you're going to approach the business, having those conversations. So as you're doing that, there's a level of, just because I'm in the coaching consulting world, clients' adaptability to be able to deliver that. Do you actually coach the people that are doing the QBRs as well as delivering the tool to be able to produce those QBR documentation, or what?
Yeah. So we have all of our, and whenever you become a member of our community, you get an onboarding phase, which is basically training. So you work with the VCIO coach that we have, because we originally were a coaching firm. And then we moved into a merger of a tool that facilitates. So once you know how to do this stuff, you just use the tool. So there is this nice onboarding phase. And if you want more advanced coaching, we do have a coaching package you can buy. You can get time with me or Skip, and it's a nice regimented curriculum to go through. And at the end, you will know all 4 areas that you should be auditing, what kind of questions to ask. And it's basically a nice 16-week program where you meet once a week and you actually get trained on how to ask the right questions as a VCIO. And so I have to correct you, because yesterday you said it and today you said it. We try to break things up into tactical and strategic.
Okay.
And so tactical is is you're on the ground. You're talking like, what do I need to do? When do I need to change out my servers? Let's make sure that everything is lined up on an operational level. And then we say strategic. Strategic means you're talking about business scoping. We're talking a 10,000 foot level. We're talking, why am I installing a server in this environment? What business solution does it provide? That's strategic. But we hear the word strategic thrown around so much in the MSP world. It's like QBR. It's lost all meaning. You know you need to do it, but do you understand the why of a QBR? What are you supposed to be discovering there? Why are they valuable? They're valuable because you're doing a business review, not a technical review.
Well, can we start with the origination of why the QBR even should exist in the first place? Because when you're hired, even though you're the third party or you're external, they're hiring you on as the VCIO. They're hiring you on to be part of what will be part of the decision-making for the future of the company as their technology partner, as if they hired a person into us. You're supposed to be part of all those things. So I love QBRs because they're used for multiple pieces.
Yes.
One is to make sure everything is tracking the way it's supposed to. You guys, when you hired me today, we did the assessment. We said you need to do A, B, C, D, and E. In order to protect you or whatever it is I'm here for. These are things that have to happen over the course of this time. So then you have your benchmarks. And as you're doing it every quarter, you should be revisiting like, hey, we're good to go. We are on track with this, and this. But then for the sales side, also, like, hey, there's upcoming stuff that you need. So let's work on that. By the way, Adam had to go do something. No, he's having challenges.
Yeah, he's
Wi-Fi.
Here in Lincoln, Nebraska, we have fiber to the curb everywhere. So
he's in California, man. He should have it everywhere. He's like
terrible infrastructure out there, man. They can barely keep their lights on.
Bravo.
That's why we get all the data centers in the Midwest. We got land and we got really reliable power because we got nothing else to do.
Right. I get it completely. So do you already have a QBR system set up, or are you okay? And does integration wise, is it integrated into other platforms such as ConnectWise and anybody else?
Yes, we do integrate into ConnectWise very well. I actually just hired a back-end developer for people who look into the development world. There are UI developers and then there are back-end developers. Back-end developers are your graybeards that love to integrate with systems. Your UIs are the guys sitting on beanbags or with an Apple MacBook making things look pretty. You need both. We didn't have a back-end developer before. We kind of had a group that did both. And so now I got a guy who loves doing back-end integration. So we do integrate with ConnectWise. You can bring in your clients. You can do opportunities. And we integrate with a couple other products.
Sure.
But we are just finishing up our Invent certification. And so we are planning on a whole slew of activities. My backend developer has been pitching me these ideas. Like, I didn't even know that was possible. And he's like, yeah, so we're going to containerize this, and then it's going to do this, and your UI developers. And I'm like just holding on as best I can. I reach for my bottle of whiskey, and we are going integration heavy. I'm pouring a lot of cash into redeveloping our entire platform into React. And our primary focus right now is integration with ConnectWise, because the API calls there are very nice, and you have a nice program for it.
I like hearing that. Our partners will love hearing that also. I think one of the biggest things that actually, it's funny because before I go on this with you guys here, I was just talking to Carolyn April from CompTIA, and she was interviewing me on partner experience, right? And so I like talking holistically about this, because it's important as vendors that we provide the ability to try to limit the amount of places that these partners need to go to do their job. That's the first and foremost, right? You have a product that makes sense to the space, but if it's too hard to get to, and it's part of the 25 places they have to go to do their day to day, somebody gets cut off at some point. Who's it going to be? And that's the truth. So we have to do it that way.
And that's one of the things we try to focus on. And again, that's why I hired a backend developer. It's not a sexy thing to hire, but I'm lazy. And by laziness, I want to have things done easily. And that's what you will need your backend developers to do, is to streamline things. So, maybe someday we have this QBR dashboard, and it looks fantastic, but it just is in ConnectWise. And that's just the way it is. And so you don't have to go anywhere else. And that's one of the integration components we're looking at. And all this has to happen. I mean, this is where leadership as an entrepreneur is complicated. I'm sitting here and I'm working with you guys as a vendor. I'm working with 2 different developer teams on 2 separate continents. And I am trying to coordinate with a marketing team how to stitch this all together and make sure the messaging is good, and making sure the end goal that we have in 2023 for our complete platform revamp is all coming together at once. And just as a leader, it's overwhelming sometimes, because I'm sitting back and I have a mini panic attack, and then I get back up and I'm back at it, because I'm trying to puppeteer all this stuff together. And ConnectWise has been great to work with, because I'll say, hey, I have no idea how to do this or what my opportunities are. And then some of your guys as engineers will come back and say, here, have you looked at it this way? Or, which direction should we go? And so the easier you guys make it for me, the easier I can make it on our clients. And it's all about that laziness, because when we come in, we shouldn't be asking an MSP to do one more thing.
Right.
They should be getting our software and thinking, oh my gosh, this makes things so much easier for me.
Absolutely. Agreed. Yeah. And that's an entire experience too, right? So that's going to take me to my next question, which is, you mentioned onboarding them. So what does onboarding look like? What's a time frame? What's the expectations and responsibilities from both parties? Stuff like that's what I would love to know about.
Yeah. We try to pitch it as, you are not going to sit down with a bunch of YouTube videos and be on your own. We always have a human who will answer questions. Like our onboarding phase, you come in. Skip Ziegler is our onboarding expert, and he will walk you through your unique challenges and align them with the way our software works. There's a lot of things our software does, but he's going to make sure that, let's say you bought this morning and you've got a big client coming up this afternoon. He can have you ready by this afternoon, pending availability of him.
Sure.
We've done it in the past where somebody's like, I have this massive client. I'm a small shop. I need to look professional by this afternoon or by Friday afternoon. And we say, tell you what, let's block out a session. Let's go through this, and let's have you have a great QBR and a great set of expectations by tomorrow afternoon. And that's our onboarding process. So the larger client MSP you are, we have different levels. The longer the onboarding time. But the expectation is like an hour a week to meet with Skip for him to answer your questions and to kind of guide you through what you need to know. And by the end of the onboarding, you should have developed a QBR for 3 of your clients that is world-class. So we ask you to pick a really great client. We ask you to pick a client that maybe you're having some trouble with communicating with, and then, pick an average client. And that way you can kind of work through this process with an expert coach who's going to help you deliver. Because if we make you look good, you're going to say nice things about us to other people, and we're going to get more MSPs. And we get almost all of our stuff through referrals.
Yeah,
that's impressive. Okay, so let's dig into that for a second, though, right? So what I just heard you say is onboarding consists of you guys actually applying what you're here for to clients. So you're actually doing like OJT essentially. You're doing on-job training.
Yeah, we are very hands-on. We're all about the human. We want you to treat your clients the same way we treat you. So it's that live by example. When you come and on board with us, you're going to talk to Adam or Skip. We're going to show you this so we can dynamically answer questions. Can you go to our wiki and get all the answers? Yes. But it's much faster to do the onboarding with a human being who can say, hey, here's my unique challenges within our MSP. How does your product solve this unique challenge? And how can we line it up at the end of the day? And then we want you to go out and do the same thing with your clients when you're onboarding them, is actually talk to them about what they want to accomplish and then line up your solutions to their actual problems. Don't go in and go, whoa, here's our processes and procedures. Here's the email you reach out to for ticketing. We'll see you later. If you have any problems, call us.
That's awesome.
The wrong way to do things. So our software is the same way. We want to humanize the conversation. We want to have an alignment. So I look at you at Sierra Group and I think, oh, I know Adam. He cares about this. You know, I look at Louis. Oh yeah, he likes unicorns. He's got 4 daughters. You know, he's actually only 35, but you know,
right? No, that's
unicorn. We had somebody on social media post this little comment. So
there you go.
Pause and break and just mention we do have quite a few live viewers here. So we are here talking with HumanizeIT with Adam Walter, and we are broadcasting to LinkedIn, Facebook groups, ConnectWise Boss, ConnectWise Tips and Tricks, and also YouTube. So you can just check us out on those various different platforms. So just a reminder, check us out, leave some comments, and maybe you'll actually show up.
So here's what we know so far. We know we know that we all love unicorns. We know that actually.
Did we establish that Adam likes unicorns?
Adam,
no.
do you like unicorns?
I like, that's a fairy tale thing. I like real world business and solving problems.
Hang up?
Hey, I'm done with this. I don't want to be a co-host of this stuff, man. What do you mean?
I'll break out my dog pillow. I like dogs, not unicorns.
I do love dogs. I have 2. I've got one right over here. I got my lab.
Yeah.
So
let me throw it right here.
Where's your dog, Adam? I mean,
I'm going to challenge you something, Adam.
We have our dogs. Where's your dog? Where's your dog? My dog's right here.
Right there.
Perfect. Look at that. We all have freaking dogs.
Oh, I can see her.
What a
That's
great
only one. That's my small one. So I have
the other room.
Greater Swiss Mountain Dog. But anyway, we got to stay on topic.
Sorry.
I'm going to challenge you here, Adam. There are a lot of companies in the marketplace right now that do QBRs or have this software, that software. How do you differentiate yourself, or what do you bring into the market that you feel is special about your software? Besides, do you have long hair? I just noticed this.
Yes.
Hey, we want to stay on topic here, Adam Valensky. Sorry, we want to stay on topic.
Yes, you're right. Thank you, Sean.
I am getting new headshots. I have a photographer coming in. I apologize.
It's all good.
No, what differentiates
my face. That's why he's rubbing it in my face.
Differentiates is 2 things. One is I come from the corporate world, so fresh set of knowledge. I'm not just another MSP, following a rigid guideline. 2, actually, there's 3 things. 2, we are a framework. We're not a process, a procedure. There's no 300-step process over 2 to 3 years to get and use our product. You want to develop a QBR, you can do it in an hour, and that is not an exaggeration. We did a webinar last fall. You can watch it on YouTube right now that shows how to create a QBR that is business-focused in under an hour from scratch. And we can deliver that. But the biggest thing is that we are a true top-down approach. We are not sitting here and we're not going to solve the problems with your operations. You already are good at operations. We're not going to tell you how to be more efficient. There are plenty of companies out there tell how to be more efficient. We are actually going to deliver a strategic QBR that is going to deliver more projects onto your table. And that's through better conversations rather than just making a presentation to your client. I've been on the other side of the table. Every other piece of software out there is basically a glorified spreadsheet. They're going to walk in and it's fantastic. If you want operational efficiency, there are some great products out there. They'll line up all their tools and when you're going to swap out PCs, and they're going to talk about what your ticket levels are and how to be more efficient in delivering your products. That's not what we do. We come in and we train your staff how to have business level conversations that result in better alignment and perceived value. And we do that in a very simple manner that does not require you to change your operations at all. All you have to do is have a different conversation when you walk into your client, a conversation you already wanted to have, a conversation that you have scheduled already, a QBR, 60 minutes. Change that conversation by using our framework. And all our framework is asking you to do is audit beforehand all the technical stuff amongst your teams, 15 minutes per survey. You can customize a survey if you want. Your engineers can do this while they're watching blue lines and installing things. Then your account manager can walk in and deliver a QBR where they can talk business, knowing that they already have the environment audited. So I'm coming in, I'm going to talk to you about, hey, what's the biggest risk to your company right now? What's your primary revenue source? And then the client is going to tell their story. I'm not going to spend the next 50 minutes talking about PC life cycles or talking about firewalls and why this one's got a great IPS in it. I'm not going to talk about the things. I'm going to sit down because I already know all this stuff about the client. I'm going to say, hey, tell me your story. As an account manager, I'm going to say, tell me your story. What's your biggest source of revenue? What are your biggest risks? And show me what we can help you with. And there's a lot of other questions going to happen. Those are what we call our 2 Qs. And so that's where we're different. We stay strictly in the vertical of strategy. We stop at operations. If you want operational efficiency, go somewhere else. If you want to learn strategy and how to do a true business analysis from a technical standpoint, come to us.
So a potential concern that I would have is if I'm a partner, with all this hands-on, how is it scalable? Let's say you get an influx of leads today, partners that want to sign up. How are you going to scale with me? How are you going to find time for me to be successful?
Yeah, so that's where our software comes into play. During your onboarding phase, once you audited a client, all that stuff is recorded and kept in the software. And then you have your Class A clients, your Class B clients, your Class C clients. They all require different amounts of time. You're not going to go in and do a monthly business review session for somebody who's got maybe 5 employees.
Sure.
And they're paying you $600 a month. You're going to schedule out activities. We have playbooks that let you know and tell you what activities to do when. Yep. For a client, so you don't overwhelm yourself trying to be everything to everyone. And then next time you do a QBR, it doesn't take an hour to prep. It's already done. All your engineer has to do is go and did anything change with this client this year? And they can go through and change, whichever questions they want.
Employee count or technology change or whatever it may be.
All that just the deltas. So now instead of spending 4 hours on putting together that nice little 3-ring binder that you guys all are so proud of, and you slap in front of the client and they'll never read, but hey, you look professional. Instead, you're going to walk in with a dashboard, you're going to throw it up behind you, and you're going to have a conversation about where the client is, how they compare to the rest of the industry. That's the ITCQ there. And then what projects are currently on the schedule to go. I'm not here to demo my software. That's just the tool that allows us to scale with you. We have some extremely large MSPs. And we scale with them because now you're asking consistent questions across all your business units. Instead of having them shoot from the hip and all ask different questions, you can now say, hey, you know what? This year, we're really trying to push hard on getting 24/7 services up and running. Here are the questions we need to make sure you're asking across all your clients. So when you've got hundreds and maybe in some cases thousands of clients, you're asking consistent questions from every account manager.
I like that. Okay, so what's the time frame? I sign up with you today. How long do I get through with you to where I'm fishing on my own without your involvement?
Well, you?
Yeah, well, the partner. Well, me might be
an average person.
For me, might be a little longer, but I mean, it might take me a long time. So let's make up a fictitious character that maybe we're doing.
No, on average, we have gotten people, we have gotten people up and running in less than an hour just because they were like the panic button kind of a person. On average, you're looking maybe, because we're all busy, like a 4-week period, unless you're absolutely massive. You're delivering with a QBR with your client, and that's a meeting with Skip, an hour a week for 4 weeks. By the end of those 4 weeks, you know all 4 pillars. You know generally how the software works, and you can start delivering great conversations to your clients because we're just training you. Now, if you want to condense all of those training sessions into one afternoon, that's on you. But who has that time? We spread it out over 4 weeks because you have a job to do. We don't want to interrupt your daily activities. We don't want to give you one more thing to do. We're just taking what you're already doing, putting a cape on it, and making
it's like binge watching for me. Netflix binge watching. I'm just going to do that. Like with you.
Yeah.
I'll just binge.
For those of you who have a complete afternoon open, which I do usually, I call it my buffer time, and that you can accelerate and get it done. For a large like enterprise level MSP, you're probably looking a good 3 months because it takes that long to train all your staff, get the processes switched around. So now that you have these opportunities set up and identifying and dividing up all of your clients across all the cities that you're in, it takes a while. That's just because you're big. And we want to create a sustainable framework. We don't want to mandate a process. And I think it's where a lot of things break down is a lot of people have this really great process that worked for their MSP, and they'll create a piece of software to deliver that same process to 100 different MSPs and force them to march to their cadence. Mm-hmm. That's not what we do. We have a general, here's kind of what you need to do. Here's the 4 areas you need to audit. Great thing about 4 areas of audit, 4 pillars, 4 quarters. You can rinse and repeat every year. Now the expectation has been set every year, how you're going to do this stuff. And now you can scale because it becomes easier and easier and easier. But you can be up and running as little as an afternoon, or you can just take your time and get it done in a month.
I'm done. I have no more questions at this point.
Dang.
I mean, I'll have more later, but it'll be that.
You sold me, Adam. So where do I go to sign up for service and talk about pricing? And tell me.
Yeah, we're at managedservicesplatform.com is the current website. It's a mouthful. Or you can go to humanizeit.biz and that links over there. We're currently rebranding to Humanize It because we're bringing in multiple products under one umbrella, the consulting and that streamlined process that we like and love so much. And then we're empowering it with the Managed Services Platform tool. So a lot of you out there have heard of Managed Services Platform. They've been around for a long time. They're like one of the first QBR softwares in the game. We're taking the greatness that they are and we're streamlining it to something that's easy and extremely scalable for you. So you can go to humanizeit.biz or you can go to managedservicesplatform.com and you can check us out, see our pricing. We don't have any hidden prices. We are unlimited. So when you see those monthly prices out there, that is not per user. That is your price for everyone.
Sweet.
You got 10,000 customers, more power to you. AWS can handle it. We're hosted.
Awesome.
Nice. Are you going to be, how about physically? I'm sorry, Adam. What about, are you going to be at any events? Anybody can find you anywhere?
I'm a recluse. I believe, Skip, where are you going this next week? I'm trying to get to IT Nation in December.
November. It's November, but whatever.
November.
So you'll be late if you get there in December. You won't even see any of us. That's perfect for you.
I keep saying December, but I drug us down last November. We were in Evolve all last year. We did the Lunch and Learns, so some of you might have seen us at the Lunch and Learns. And this year, because of the transition, we're kind of taking a break as we get our brand, and it's taking forever. Anybody else having problems ordering shirts and booth materials? Because if you see me, I might be up there with some sock puppets, trying to put on a show.
Technically, if you did that, it would be a very big impact, I think, because nobody would know.
Okay, I'm going to throw something back at you. So I have an idea for a booth, and I've never seen anybody do this. I want to have a booth where, like, you come to our area, our little 6-foot area, and I want to have like a couple comfy couches there and a couple comfy chairs and like a bar right next to it. And there's going to be no selling done at our booth. It'll have our brand up in the corner and say, "Hey, tired of walking? Have a seat. Have a conversation."
I like the concept. Actually, I was at Channel Partners Expo last year in Vegas, and there was a company that had a speakeasy set up. Oh, they had the full speakeasy, had a bar center. They were mixing drinks for us. They had a hat rack. We were putting hats on and like dressing up and stuff. It was actually pretty cool.
We want to force technology people to actually have conversations with one another. Yep. We want to create a nice little good place. So we'll be at the Kaseya event next week.
Okay.
Nice. Sorry.
It's all
I'm
good.
done. Sorry.
So,
Yep, let's
Adam,
go.
fun fact about yourself. I think I saw it on one of the slides. But fun fact.
Man, I'll blow your minds with one. I got a great fun fact.
Please.
I went from 0 to 4 kids in 4 months from 2 different families adopting.
That's a very short window. That's
like,
I remember sitting on my back deck with my wife and drinking a glass of wine and looking at her going, this is it.
So, okay.
Our baby was, I was working in a data center.
I would say, what are the ages of the kids?
So we were going to adopt a sibling group, and we were working through the process of that through foster care. And they were going to move in January 7th. All this is set, and we're like sitting there happy. Hey, you know, we got 4 months to be a free couple. And then I got a phone call. I was working in a data center. I got a phone call, and it was from the foster care worker going, hey, do you want a baby? I'm like, oh, well, 6 months from now, maybe. That'd be nice to have an infant. And like, he's free and clear. Like, when do we need to him in? Tomorrow.
nice.
You know what? I'm gonna call my wife quick and ask her.
That's pretty crazy.
So I called my wife and I said, hey, you want to have a baby? And the next morning we had a baby delivered to our doorstep. Our friends all just dumped everything on us. We had no crib. We had no baby formula. We had nothing.
Wow. That's impressive. So, and also the moral of the story is magic is real. The stork brought the baby. So when you say unicorns aren't real, remember that this happened. There's a freaking stork.
Yeah.
The other three were 3, 5, and 5 when they moved in. They are now 16, 15, 14, and 10.
That's amazing. Good for you guys. That's awesome.
Really awesome. That's really, really awesome.
That is awesome.
It's been a pleasure. It's really been a pleasure. Check out their website, HumanizeIT, humanize.biz, also managedserviceprofessionals.com.
Managedservicesplatform.com. We're killing that name.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank God, because that's a lot.
That is a very long name. So,
managed
Sean,
platform is good. Last thoughts? I'll say that I'm impressed by the fact that you took a product and a service and complemented them, which is important. I think that a lot of vendors don't realize to do it. They think everybody wants to be a software company, right? And they don't realize that there's no software is really created. It doesn't require some implementation or some development of some sort with people. So I really appreciate your approach on that. I like that it is, you know, I think that one of the biggest challenges I've seen in the space is English to English translation from MSPs to their clients, right? And I think that the approach that you're talking about, which is business outcomes, it requires business acumen. And sometimes they don't have time they can't go to a college course or work the business from a different perspective enough time to really understand how to speak it, right? So to simplify is a really important thing that I've witnessed it 1,000 times over.
Yep.
So I'm impressed. Thank you, Adam.
You have a saying where we say, we don't require you to be a business expert. Your client already is an expert. Leverage them. You stay in the technology world. Let them shine and tell you about themselves. And then you can match up what's going to make them successful.
I love that. I like the firewall thing too. Fire them.
How do I even match that close? But I really thank everybody for their time. Everybody who's watching live. If you have any questions, this video is going to be saved on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and also within our communities. Join our ConnectWise Boss community or ConnectWise Tips and Tricks on Facebook, where you can actually comment, engage. Or if you need to work with us or have some questions, Sierra Pacific Group, we are here to help you integrate the various different tools into your business to make it more efficient and profitable at the end of the day. So I really appreciate your time, Adam. HumanizeIT.biz is really, really awesome. And Sean, we are actually having another show next Tuesday at noon again. So
Pacific.
And 3 p.m. Eastern. So appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Peace out.
All right, thanks all.
Thanks,